everyone, I'm Katie, and today I am doing a book review on Remember Me. So Remember Me is Tracie Peterson's newest release, and it does not disappoint. Tracie Peterson was actually one of my very first Christian fiction authors that I ever read back probably in late middle school, early high school, and she still remains one of my favorite authors to this day. I absolutely love this, and I also love Tracie Peterson because she gets out the full series within like a year usually. So the next two in this series are coming out this year, and I cannot wait. So this is part of the Pictures of the Heart series, and I'm just dying to find out who the second book is about. I kind of have figured maybe, but we'll see. Anyways, so this one had a lot of emotions, that's for sure. It was definitely a 5-star read for me. Probably, honestly, I would say one of my favorites of her books that I've read. I haven't read any of her books in quite a long time, but I think this one might be a new favorite because it was excellent. I absolutely loved it. If you like redeeming love and that redemption story feel, you will definitely love Remember Me. So this is about a girl named Addie, and she lives in the Yukon during when she was a younger child, and there is a trigger warning. She is abused by her family, and she ends up getting, I just want to make sure this is not, okay, it's not a spoiler because it's on the back of the book. She ends up getting sold by her brothers to a man who owns a saloon and brothel. And so she ends up in that situation. She ends up marrying the owner of the saloon, and she has like no decision in this because she was quite young and she really had no idea. She was just with her brothers and her father, and so she ends up in that situation. But then she ends up where she ends up running away from her brothers and going to Washington, where there is the Alaskan Yukon Pacific Expo is happening in Washington, and that's where she ends up going, is Seattle. And so she ends up finding someone there who was part of her life in the Yukon, and he promised her that he would come back after he ended up getting his doctorate degree, and he didn't know what was going on really too much into her past. And so they end up accidentally running into each other at the expo, and she's like he still loves her. He's been looking for her for years, and she still loves him, but she has that like spirit of like it was her fault even though it wasn't, and she feels like that she can never be loved because of what happened in her past. And I loved this book. I feel like this is one of Tracie Peterson's strongest as far as faith goes, because it talked a lot about how this poor girl goes through all these things and how can God actually be in those situations. And she has these amazing friends and wonderful pastor and his wife that just show her that this wasn't her fault, that the Lord still loves her, and she already asked for forgiveness, and so like there's nothing else to be done because God took everything away. And so she has to learn kind of how to let go and how to let God back into her life. And I absolutely loved it. I thought it was great. It was definitely intense and moving story for sure throughout this book. I want to see if I'm not going to spoil anything if I say this too. Okay, I can't say that, but things in her past catch up with her as she lives in Seattle. So I can't spoil anything else because I try to keep these spoiler free, but just pick it up. I think you're going to really love it. That's definitely really the only triggering thing is abuse from family members, but I absolutely loved it. I think you're going to love it. Yeah, I cannot wait for the sequel. I think it's coming out in summer, I think. Yeah, I think the next one comes out in summer and the next one comes out during the fall. So I cannot wait because it was absolutely amazing and I can't wait to read it. So make sure to check it out if you haven't already. And if you have never heard of Tracie Peterson, might be a good start to start here because it was really good. So yes, she's written over 100 books, so you will keep yourself busy if you start with her books. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video.